So this is BIOS Origins 2nd edition by Phil Eklund, part of the BIOS games, civilization game, following Megafauna and preceding High Frontier. And we will show rules for the advanced game. So first there is map of the world, and on the map there are migrants that goes around the hexes on the spots. And we also can build cities in center of hex. That cities are these cuboids and they can cover some symbol. Also there are 6 technology tracks that start at the left side, and they will be advancing to the right over course of the game. Here on the left are market with ideas we can invent, and there are decks with the new ideas, because there are 4 eras in the game, and there are 3 different philosophic approaches to the game. If you look down here to the board of the species, we start as one of the 4 species: sapiens, Denisovan, Hobbit, and Neanderthals. And we always have one of 3 ruling class. We can have white culture, and in culture we work for the gods' benefit. We can have politics, so we work for the society, or we can have industry and we work for ourselves. And this is the crown that shows which of your ruling class is active. So the Denisovant right here start the industry, but it can change over the game. We also have our brain with 3 species: emotions, vocabulary, and free will. And we have pawns in the brain, and we need to advance our brain because we can only use pawns from the free will. And the last part of the game are these challenge cards that are some type of timing of the game. It depends on the number of players and variant how many cards there are, but there are challenge cards. We can challenge gods, and when all challenge cards from the epoch 1 are done, there is comet under it, and if someone takes comet, we finish epoch 1 and start epoch 2, and when someone takes the last comet, the game ends. And we play advanced game with all rules. So, and with the second advancement of the humans from the Africa about 100,000 years ago. And if you look on this brain, there is a sequence of play that is very, very easy. So it's possible to challenge God as the first action, first part. That means you can do it or not. And that means taking top card from the challenge deck. And I will show this only in brief, and I will return later for more details. And if someone challenge gods, there are some events that happens, like some ice turning to water and explosion in the world. And then we make auction of this card. And if someone wins, he gains Eureka, and he might keep this card to his own. Also, it's possible if there are all challenge cards are out, we can end the epoch and do things written on the comet. And the last thing is possible that if someone has the comet, he can use it as a bellwether to move philosophy. More about it later. And the main part of the is called activities. So I make some example. And your board can look like this, somewhere in middle of the game. Down here are the foundation cards that came from the challenges. Up here are ideas cards that came from the market. And we always have these two rows of the basic actions. And all cards have two sides of one of these three color. And in column you always have color of the top color of the card is always matching the color of the ruling class. So I have ruling class white culture, so all my cards have white color on the top. I can have some other cards around, some foundation, but not ideas. And when I do my activity phase, I go from down to up, and from each row I can do one action. So I can do spread from warning class, I can do emancipate here, I can do one of 4 actions here, one here, one here, one here. Okay. And at the beginning we have no cards, so we play only with the actions on the species placard, and these are the basic most important actions are here. So first possible is specialize. So you can take this is your information, which is here on the board. So I have information 1. So I can take 1 pawn from my free will, and I can put it to any card in the market. And I can invent that card later. I can put it on the second or third row, but from the beginning it's wise to use only first row. And any other player may join me, or if he plays later, or he can play on other cards. The second action is inventing this gear, and I can invent any card in the market that has I have my pawn there, and the total number of the pawns is at least this number here. So I can, with 1 pawn, I can invent first row, but I need 2 pawns of so we can together invent this because it needs 2 pawns to invent. So I invent this skin boat. So first I get the Eureka here, and this means I advance my maritime by 1 to maximum of 1. So it is here. So I advance my maritime by 1. And my pawn is expanded to my free will. Then each other player on the card also gets the Eureka. So this is also expanded, and he also gets maritime 1. And there is important that if you like here, it says from here there is energy 5, but I can advance when I use this. I advance only by 1 to maximum of 5. So right now I can only advance to 4, and later when I use it again I advance to 5. And then I can keep this card if I fulfill the requirement here. This says I need footprint 2, which I do not have. So the card is discarded to lower deck here, which is not so good for me. At the beginning, usually their best advance mental encephalus, which means I can move 1 pawn from emotion to vocabulary, or the mysticism here. So I can move any pawn from the brain to mysticism box here. And the mysticism is important for scoring at the end of epoch 1. And if I have 2 or less emotions, I have menopause, these symbols of grandmother, because many cards like this have menopause as a requirement. So if I invented this card, I now have menopause, so I can keep this card. And this card has 2 sides, purple and white. So I need to rotate it so it is same as my ruling class. If I cannot rotate it that it is same as my ruling class, it is removed to lower deck. So if I will invent this, I cannot keep this card because it has no white side. And I can have so many idea cards as I have my information. I have information 1, so I can keep 1 card here. If I invent second card, I need to remove 1 card. And if I will have information 2, they stack like this, so the last card is on the top. So third action is library here. So I can expand as many elders I have information level. So I have 1, so I can expand 1 to free will, and I can increase my information by one step.
Is it 1 step per elder you removed, or 1 step in general?
So if I am on stage 2, to use library, I need to expand 2 elders from the market, and I move by 1.
Okay.
And there is election that I return later. The top row. The right side of the top row is only for the basic game. We are not playing, so we use only these 2 symbols. And you can see that almost all rows are same. They only differs in the second symbol in the top row. And then there is spreading that is connected to the map. So we each start at one spot. Sapiens in Africa, Neanderthals in Europe, hobbits in Indonesia, and Denisovan in China. And you can spread from your cities or migrants. So I am here, and I can spread as max spots that is same as my energy. So I have energy 3, so I can move 3 spots. And also I can cross as many water spots I have my maritime. So I have maritime 1, so I can cross one sea spot. So from here I can spread my next migrant 1. I can spread 1, 2, 3 here. Or I can move 1 over water, 2, 3 here. I cannot end on the water. I need to land. My final step needs to be on the ground. I cannot pass over enemy migrants unless they allow me, which is usually not happening. Also, if I am like here in the Africa, there are the climate cheats, which can be jungles, deserts, sea, or the ice. They are double-sided. So, and I cannot spread between two unhittable spaces, like jungle and jungle. I cannot move between these two. Also, I cannot move between permanent ocean or some climate. So this might.
You cannot move between that, or you cannot end there.
I cannot move because there is ocean, permanent ocean, and
okay, so you could only spread down or
yeah,
to the right. Okay.
But if you have some advanced technologies, so like here, if I have immunology 4, I can move around the jungles.
Okay.
So it might happen that you are logged here and you cannot move from here until you advance your technology or you move that token away by some way I will show later. You can cross the ocean from Africa to America or something like that. You can move around jungles, around ice, around deserts, and around seas. And it is possible to usually you spread new migrant from that old one. So I start here, so I can move my new one from 3 spot here, or I can move 1, 2, 3 here. Or it is possible to move this one up to 3 spots. Sometimes it's better.
So instead of creating a new one,
Yeah.
just move the old one.
You can also have a city. I have city here. I can spread from this city, but my first step is to the edge of the city. So
okay.
1 here, 2, 3. And then we can build some cities with these. actions. And usually these actions start at about epoch 2. So if I will have like this card, so this card on the top allows me to build a city on some agricultural goods like some grain or fish, the white symbol. Like here,
Yes.
here, here. So if I have migrant on the hex with the white resource, I can remove that migrant and put my city on that resource. And there can be sometimes more resources on the spot, like here. So it is possible build one of these types, but there can be only one city on the spot.
So you cannot build a city here right now?
I can build, enemy cannot do it, but I can, if I build city here, I remove this one and put it here.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Or I can build this city again, because some actions, if you look on the card again, have some consequences. So this card says if I did cultivate, I advance my my footprint by 1 to max 3. So I move it to 2, and when I build city again, I can move it to the 3.
Oh, okay.
Then we can build cities on the animals. And there are 2 types of animals. There are the green one. There can be the working animals with this target, or there can be war animals with the arrow. If you have city on the war animal, you have blitzkrieg, and I forgot when you are spreading. So if I have 2 spreads in the turn, I cannot spread. So I spread from this migrant. So I spread 3 spots, but standard I cannot spread anymore from this migrant, or I cannot.
So not from a recently placed migrant,
Yeah.
only from an old one.
But if I have blitzkrieg, which means war animal, I can do it. I can spread again if I have it. I can move to the Europe. You also have blitzkrieg if you have oil or uranium, but it's very advanced, very late in the game. And the last one we can prospect. Yeah, it can be here. And this allows 3 different actions on the top. I can prospect any flag symbol, Like here in the South Africa, I can prospect gold or diamonds, but it has always have some requirement. I can prospect gold when I have metallurgy 2. I can prospect diamonds when I have metallurgy 4. Or different cities have some different requirements, like immunology 4, maritime 1. It is also possible that there are some special type of prospect like his. This says if I prospect metals,
Yeah.
like here, I advance my metallurgy.
Ah, okay. So the arrow is only for the rightmost action.
Yeah, this is always divided by slashes.
Ah, okay.
Also, there can be prospect luxury goods. So this like this. So this action can only you can prospect cities with this symbol.
Yeah.
Oh. So some other actions. There is art. So you can remove your pawn from the mysticism to your free will. So it is possible with prayer to move pawn from emotion to mysticism, and with the art you can return it to the free will, which is better for
you. Yeah.
There can be artisan that says you put one pawn from the free will to the market.
So it's like specialized.
Yeah, but the specialized later can put more.
Ah, okay.
And this card here is nice combo. So if you play this, so you can usually you first turn you specialize, and when you play again, you can invent on the second turn. But if you have this card with the artisan down here, so in one turn you can put one elder and immediately invent, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, this is the Epoch 2 card that allows abstraction, and abstraction moves from vocabulary to free will. Because you use pawns from the free will. Then find it somewhere. And card like this has the consequence of how that I will tell later, because smoking is not good. I need to find some cards. So there are some actions that are called abstraction. There are transactions between two players. So there is trade here, the hands, which can be done like I have my migrant here. I can spread. If I can spread, so it matches another player migrant or city. So from here in Africa, I can spread down here, and we met together. I can trade with him, and this migrant is later funded, and we both get negotiations. And negotiation mean I can, if the black one has some, if the like here the black has a better footprint than I can copy one step of his advantage. So I can increase my footprint by one, or I can move one pawn in my brand to free will, or I can quell one dissident, and dissident is migrant on some of my cards, so I can remove him. And
But the technology could be done for any technology where black is ahead, right?
yeah, and now the black has the same thing. So the black can
okay.
copy my advance in maritime, or he can put his pawn to free will, or well one dissident. Oh,
Oh, the pawn movement was from emotions to free will, right?
From anywhere in brain to free will.
Oh, that's strong.
Usually the copying technology is usually better. So there can be some attacks and wars. So we can have some war with this symbol. So I can again attack from this migrant to black one. So I spread my attacker to his migrant. And now we compare our metallurgy. If I have lower metallurgy than he, I die. If we both have the same, we both die. And if I have better, the black dies. So like this, which is superior for me, I have better metallurgy. So I kill this black migrant, I move to his spot. And this black migrant moves to the tableau of that car of that player, and he can be placed on any. I will show it here. So first it is turned to dissident, and he can move to any place in the ruling column with this rainbow meeple. I can put him here or here.
And the attacker decides, or would green decide?
Who lose? Who is the migrant owner?
Okay.
And when he lose again, he needs to put in here.
Yes.
And the card is disabled, so this row of the action can be used.
Okay.
And when he would get third dissident, that is bad, and he performs revolution that I will tell later, which is not good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is possible to attack city, but you need to start on the borders of the city.
Okay.
This migrant can attack this city, but not from here. He first needs to move here, and with the connection attack the city. And the city turns to my color. And always, when the city is destroyed, it always creates refugee, which is migrant. And the refugee from destroyed city goes as a dissident.
It's placed on the rainbow spot again. Okay.
Yeah. But if the city is destroyed by some catastrophe or some nature, it stays on the.
Okay. So, for example, if this climate. Okay. Yeah, then it stays here. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, second type of attack is preaching, which was here on the smoking.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, I forgot a few things. If you advance your energy to 8, which I never seen to happen because it's very very difficult. You can destroy any city in your hex, and you do not need, and the metallurgy doesn't matter.
Yeah, but okay, but you destroy it. You don't take it over, right?
You take it over. You destroy and take it over.
Okay. Okay.
At least I think. And if you invent missiles with maritime, you can attack anywhere on the map.
Okay.
So the preaching is here. It's similar to the king, but you compare your mysticism with the defender mysticism. So if I have one pawn here and black has no, I can attack with preaching, and I convert his migrant to my own.
So you don't kill, you convert.
You convert, so there is no upon a dissident to on the rainbows.
Okay.
And the last one is enslaving, which is on this ship, the chains.
Yeah.
And then in the enslaving, you need higher urbanization, more cities.
Okay, so you could enslave black.
Yeah.
And then that is a conversion as well.
No, it is killed, so it is dissident and goes.
So it's like war. You just compare urbanization and not metallurgy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the war is most common action.
Yeah.
For the war.
Okay.
Also, it is possible that there's a philosophy track here with this philosophy cube that can move around these spots, but usually it happens later in the game. And if the cube is like here, when you start war, you get one house.
Okay.
And house.
Okay, yes. Enslave, region, war.
So, and house mean that if I take house, I need to take one migrant on map, and put it as a resident to my tableau.
Oh, okay.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's also the sign on the smoking.
Yes.
Is also
So
war,
if you
right? Then it's chaos, right?
Yes. So if you do this, you do preaching, but you suffer one house.
Oh, okay.
I forgot one thing about when you invent this card, you get abstraction, but you need to remove one idea of epoch 1 or lower.
Oh, okay.
So if I invent this, I need to remove like this card.
Okay.
Because it's obsolete.
Yeah, but it cannot remove itself, right?
So
if you have no idea, then you just get this.
So nothing happens.
Yeah. Okay.
It always have lower number than the...
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that.
And it with the later epochs number here, you have better actions. You can advance to higher technologies. There are some other actions that can be seen on this play art, like science or pseudoscience or exogamy, but they are quite easy and I will not explain them right now because they are not so important.
Okay.
And they show later in the game.
Okay.
Maybe I will show this exogamy, which can be somewhere, maybe. So this exogamy with broken ring, or I'm not sure how it's called. You can take pawn from your free will and put it on some idea of other players. It is called emissary. And when that player uses this action, you get negotiation, same as from the trade. So,
Okay.
So advancing technology or quelling dissident or moving in the brain.
Okay.
So that's probably everything from the cards. Oh, no, not. And the cities can be later necessary as a requirement for some keeping some cards. So this card for bread making, you need to have some working animal with the cross.
Okay.
This steel finery, you need some metal city or biofuel.
Okay.
And also there is variant when you play mermaids in the sea, and you cross cross the ground on some vehicles. So in our game, we do not use any symbols that are blue, like these.
Okay, yeah. They are water only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in the full white blue circle, like here. Permanent
Yeah.
option. Yeah, but we can use these two, but not this corals.
Okay.
So that's actions, and there is a third part of the sequence of play. You check if you do not have hunger. So there is important footprint, and you check if there is any hex with more tokens than your footprint. So you start with footprint 1. So if it's so in the beginning, if I have 2 migrants on the hex, that's bad for me, and I need to die some of my migrants. So like this will die, so it's okay for me.
Yeah.
But this dies and it is dissident.
It's a dissident. Do cities count as well
Yeah.
as tokens?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So on this
would
there
be
are 3.
free.
And
Okay.
also the other players counts. So if I like here, I have footprint 2, and black has footprint 1. So I spread here on my turn. I check my footprint and I am okay, because I had footprint 2.
Okay. And then on black's turn, he
When
checks.
black
They
turn,
check.
he checks, and he is not good, so he dies on hunger.
Okay.
Or he should move away somewhere, but it is not possible here probably. And then you refresh the market with the new cards.
Yeah.
And then I return to the no, first. Oh, yeah, challenge of gods. First phase of the turn. Now, if you have at least one elder in the market or emissary, you can challenge the god on your turn.
Okay. So you can't do it in your first turn.
Yeah. Okay. And you usually do it when you think you can win.
Yeah.
So
because then you want to progress.
So you take top card, and it is always a bit secret with what you get. And there are some events. There are 2 events on the card that you perform. So this says it is explained in the player 8 from here on the left side. So this one is warming, and we play advanced games. So if there is warming or freezing, you draw 1 card from unused card of the same epoch. So I take this one, and if it has same symbol, all ice turns to water. But it is not here, so only 1 ice turns to water.
Okay.
So I take 1 ice sheet from the map. I flip it and I put it on some white on the blue ring. I can put it here, here.
Yeah.
You can make some way or some space for yourself, or you can lock someone in his spots. If there is city on that spot where you put the pit, like here, it is destroyed and it creates a refugee.
Okay.
And there is similar with the jungles and the desert. It's forestation and deforestation, which turns jungle to desert and around. So we always move it to the ring of the corresponding color.
Okay.
There can be catastrophe, like here, with the 20 edges star. So you locate the catastrophe on the map, which is here. So any migrant around here is killed, and any city in the hex is killed and creates refugee. But it is called.
But the refugee is not killed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is called action of gods. So this migrant, if it's killed, is only removed and it is not doing health. There are. I did. There can be some diseases like I hear tuberculosis. And it is human spread disease. So if you look at the play art, it says it affects players who this, up here, crown disease. Everybody with urbanization greater than his immunology. So we compare urbanization to immunology. So if I will have 3 cities on the map, that's bad for me because I have greater urbanization. So I am affected by disease. I lose half of my cities and half of my elders in the market, rounded down.
So you would lose one city and no elder right
Yeah,
now?
but my immunology increased by 1.
Yeah, okay.
There are more events, but I will not explain all because I think it's not so important. And then we have this card. So who challenged the card, who turns it, choose which tokens are flipped and like this. Then we auction on this card.
Okay.
I take this one. And we bid with the elders in the market. I will have 2 elders. And green has 1. I start and I choose how many elders I want to bid on this card. I can choose nothing, but I choose 1. Then the next player needs to bid more or pass.
Okay. So green could only pass.
Yeah.
Because you have already bidded 1.
Yeah, so I win. I expand that number of elders. And I will explain later. If the card has this star, that is religious card. So my mysticism is added to my bid.
Okay.
But
and they are also removed?
No.
The mysticism ones? Okay.
But you need to bid at least 1 normal pawn.
Yeah.
Also, if you look on the philosophy here, so if you have culture, you have +1 for the bidding. If your ruling class is culture,
okay.
you have +1. So if I win this card, I get the Eureka. So I move 1 from emotion to vocabulary. And then I keep this card if I fulfill the requirement. I choose which side I will add. So I can add red or purple. But if I choose not my ruling class, I need to switch to this ruling class.
Okay.
And if I have...
So with this card, you had to switch because
Yes.
it's red or purple and you were white. Okay.
Probably I will not bid on this card because it is not on my...
Yeah.
If you have many cards in white, you probably do not want switch.
Yeah, because you lose all your ideas, right?
And the new card is always the lowest
one. Yeah, okay.
And the foundation cards are very stable. It is very hard to get rid of them. But the ideas up here are quite fragile.
Yeah.
So if I if my ruling class looks like this, and I win this card, I need to swap my ruling class. But I have some dissidents and I need to quell them first. And for each dissident, I need to remove elder from the market or the city from the board.
Okay.
If I have no elders or cities, I remove migrants from the board. I have two dissidents, so I remove one elder, I remove one city, and the city creates migrant.
Yeah.
I remove these. Then I move my crown to the new ruling class. Then I turn all my ideas. And if they are not red, so this stays, but these are removed. Because they are not red.
Okay.
But I may get some new actions on the side of the cards.
Yeah.
So there is also action elections. We skip first, which allows you to change your ruling class. And this is called peaceful revolution, or quiet revolution. If you have at least one elder in the market or emissary, to make elections you expand all elders in the market.
Okay.
And then you can choose new ruling class, or you can stay in the same. So I am red, so I can choose that I will flip back to the white. I quell all my dissidents. I turn card ideas back, but this card stays here.
Yes.
I cannot use them. And also you cannot put dissidents on the cards that are not in a ruling class. I cannot put dissident here. It is possible to do elections to remove your dissidents and stay in the same column, but then you start with the actions from the placard up. But I think it's quite rare to do it.
Okay. So then you don't get the foundation actions.
Yes. Because the elections can be on some idea card. So it is possible to do this part twice. But you can do elections only once per turn.
Ah, okay.
But I never seen someone doing it. Because
Okay.
you lose all others in the market.
Yeah, it's quite costly.
And if I have, and there is also violent revolution, which is so nice. So if I have like this, my dissident spots are full, and I suffer a chaos from something. So if I suffer chaos now, I cannot put migrant there.
Yeah.
So that migrant stays on the board. But if the migrant was killed by war or something, he is removed. But it is only normal chaos. It stays on the board and causes the revolution.
Ah, okay. So in a war, it would just be removed, but no revolution.
No, if just now it's war, I lose, and this migrant dies.
Ah, then it's still revolution.
It should stay on the board, but it is killed, so it is removed anyway.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And now I need to quell my dissidents. So for each one I remove elder city and or the migrant. So these are removed. I remove elder entity. Then I flip my lowest foundation in the column.
Okay.
And now I am in the politics.
Ah, okay.
I flip all my ideas. So this is removed. This is flipped.
Okay.
Usually revolution is bad, but sometimes it can be good for you because you have access to new abilities. So this was the challenge. Yeah. It may be possible when you challenge the card that no one bids, so it is removed.
Okay, so you don't have to bid if you challenge it.
Yeah, but you want cards, so usually want.
Yeah.
And there are
Especially
some
safe ones.
there are some special cards like the communists or Napoleon that have this dictator symbol. There is left dictator like this, or there can be right dictator. And this card is not auctioned.
Okay.
And the left dictator like this goes to player who has the most dissidents.
Okay.
If there is tie, it is first player on the tie starting from the acting player. So if we both have same dissidents, I am acting player, so I get this communists.
Okay.
It gets some Eureka, but it has this, I do not know how it's called in English. killing and cleaning.
Yeah.
So I choose which color I take. So if I choose purple, all other foundation in that column are removed.
Okay.
Because dictator wants to be alone.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And there is also a rightist dictator who goes to the player with the highest mysticism.
Okay. And you would do, I'm sorry, if you took this as white, you would do a politics swap?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. So if you wanted to save this card, you would need to go into culture. Okay.
And if all the challenge cards are away, there is a comet for Epoch 1. And on the challenge phase, you can take it. You usually take it when you are winning, or when you see that you cannot win this round or this epoch, and you do these actions on the card. So everybody gets one house. Then you remove all market cards without elders.
Okay.
And Epoch 1 cards are removed, and you refresh with card from Epoch 2.
Yeah.
And then you avert victory points. And in the first epoch, which is deep in the prehistory, we count the mysticism here.
Okay.
And you get one victory point for each player who has less mysticism than you.
Ah, okay.
So I get 1 point here. No. But if we play 4 players, the first one can get 3 points for it.
Yeah.
And then this card is flipped, and you get the Bellwether, which I explained a bit later. The Epoch 1 is about 100,000 years ago, and it ends about 30,000 years ago. Then there is Epoch 2, where we count our urbanization. So you get 1 point for each player with less cities. Then we go to the Epoch 3, which is about 3,000 years ago to maybe 1,000. And we count our diversity, and diversity is number of rainbows in your tableau. And the rainbows are on the foundation cards, but only the cards that are not hidden. So if I have like this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diversity.
Ah, okay.
But not counting this one.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we start the last epoch, Epoch 4, which is like a medieval and nowadays. And at that and there is last comment. And if someone takes it, it ends the game.
Okay.
And I will first talk about the Belvedere. That's a last options in the challenge phase. You can use Belvedere to move philosophy 1 or 2 spaces, which is
Yeah.
so I can move it 2 spaces here. Also during the late card have this demagogue Eureka, which allows moving philosophy by 1.
Oh, okay.
Because it is important at the end. So at the end, when we end, we count the points for each ruling class. So if I count my points, so for the culture, I have 1 point here, 1 here, 6 here, 5 here.
Okay.
So I have 13 total for this epoch, for the culture. And I do same for the politics. So I count my points, my urbanization, and my advancement on these tracks. So like this, it is 5, 7. And I do the same here.
Yeah.
So it's about
Will also be 7.
7. And the highest number counts. So I have 13 points, my total winning points.
Okay. Yeah, and with the philosophy you can.
But if the philosophy is here, then the politics is not counting.
Yeah.
So this one is not counting.
Okay.
And that's probably everything, at least I think.
Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 events that are mentioned in the player aid as well.
Yeah, I did not explain all of them.
Yeah. But except for that, I think it's
There is one event that is based on the philosophy position.
Oh, okay.
So it is possible to win with not so many cities on migrants. In one game I was killed by other players very heavily. And at the end I had 2 cities, 1 migrant, and I was able to win because I had big advancement on technologies.
Yeah.
Also, I forget if you advance to energy 6, and 7th, you get 1 advance on some other track.
Mm.
And that's probably everything.
Nice.
There are some variants, so it's possible to play it as a campaign starting with BIOS Genesis to Megafauna, Origins, High Frontier, and Interstellar.
Yeah.
It is possible
Oh
to
yeah, you
do
can do a
some
custom map, right?
custom map, or you can continue with the creatons from the Megafauna.
Yeah.